Recording, and we'll get started here. All right, so we'll go ahead and get our march going here just to get the blood flowing, starting a little easy. Get some shoulder rolls going back, loosening up all that tension.
Matt, I see everybody and I don't want to see everybody. I just want to see you. How do I do that?
So if you hit switch to active speaker, you should be able to do that.
She can just hit the grid button again.
Yeah, the picture, it looks like a picture of a grid and it says switch to active speaker, and that should take care of it. All right. And we'll get started with our head tilt side to side. One side and the other. Back and forth. Just a few times. Good. And we'll rotate, check those blind spots. Not that we're driving in traffic quite as much these days, I'm sure. Good, and relax. All right, big arm circles back. 5 backstroke. Circles on one side. Or 6 if your pace is a little quicker than mine. Good, and switch to the other side. I never was very quick at the backstroke. Yeah. Excellent. All right, we'll cross in front like an X, come up into a Y like the YMCA. It's fun, just, oh, I almost broke out into karaoke again. We don't want that. And by the way, since everybody is muted, if you want to put a little playlist going on your end, that's perfectly fine. Won't be bothering anybody else at all. Good, and relax. We'll do a little loose torso rotation. Definitely a good thing I took a little leave before the class today. Otherwise, I'd be moaning and groaning with this one, but nobody cares about my aches and pains. And relax. All right, we're gonna do the Jane Fonda step next. Reach and pull with a kickback. Just like so, squeezing those shoulder blades together in the back. You know, leave it to the youngest guy in the session to complain about something that's bothering him, right? Good, just a couple more each side. All right, awesome. We're gonna do that hip opening series next. Forward, side, and then up and around. So we're gonna lift the knee up, out, and around. 2 more times, up, out, and around. Last one on this side, up, out, and around. All right, other leg now, same thing, up, out, and around, up, out, around. Last time, up, out, and around. Beautiful. We'll do one leg forward, one leg back. We're gonna rock and reach, and then sit back into a little hamstring stretch, and reach, and stretch. 2 more times, reach, and stretch. Last one, and we're gonna hold at the bottom. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. And switch. Other side now. Reach. And sit back into the stretch. And reach. And stretch. Reach. And stretch. Last one, reach and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. All right, first position again. We can spread the feet a little further this time if we need to. We're gonna reach up and over. Ready? Reach and relax. Reach, relax, reach, relax. Last one will hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Other side now. And reach and relax. Reach and relax. 2 more. Reach and relax. Last one, we're gonna hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, if you've got the room for it, we're gonna go for that grapevine now. If you're limited in space like me, you can just do those mini curtsy lunges back and forth, following along. So we'll just do a little curtsy back and forth. If you don't have room for that grapevine, couple more each side. Awesome. On right. Next movement, if you've got the room, you can do that side skip with jumping jack arms, or you can just go back and forth like I'll be doing. Ready and begin. Just like so. We don't need very much space to get a good workout in. We don't need very much equipment. One more time each side. Awesome. And relax. All right. Last one. If you've got the room, go for a walking lunge. Otherwise, you can do a reverse lunge or a step back with a raise of the hands overhead. Just like so. And I'm just taking a little step here. But if you want to drop down into a full lunge, if you've got that range of motion available to your body, that's okay as well. Whatever is most appropriate for you. Keeping weight in the heel of that front foot as we step back. One more time each leg. And relax. All right, grab a sip of water if you'd like. I'm gonna set the timer here for today's workout. So we've got 5 exercises, 4 rounds. It's gonna be 50 seconds of work and 25 seconds of rest. We'll take a little halftime break just for water after round 2. But today's exercises, I'm using dumbbells, but you can use a band as well. We're doing just an alternating row. I'll show you from the side, nice neutral angle, just like so. If you're using the band with an anchor, same thing, holding those handles, pulling one at a time. The next one is going to be a step up. So I'm using a stool here, but you can use a curb or a step. One side and then the other. I'm using a little medicine ball for added weight. If you need to add any challenge, you can add in an overhead reach. So just reaching that weight up as you step. Now for the third exercise, I'll show you 2 versions, a standing version, stomach engaged, holding a dumbbell or a medicine ball with a little rotation, eyes following the direction the shoulders are turning. If you need a little more challenge, we're gonna come down to the floor for what's called a Russian twist. So knees bent in front of you and same motion, but only go for this variation if you don't feel any strain in the back. So as you lean back and rotate, you wanna make sure you're not feeling any strain in the lower back. If you are, just return to the standing variation. Exercise 4, supinated dumbbell raise. Supinated is just a fancy word for palms up. So we're just coming up to shoulder height, and it's a straight arm lift, not a curl. Same thing still applies with any dumbbell raise though. Avoid that shrug, keeping the shoulder blades together and down as we lift. And then for our last exercise, we're gonna do a lateral squat step. So I've got a medicine ball, but you can do body weight or dumbbells as well. Step out to the side, squat, feet together, step out to the other side, squat, back together. If you don't have full range of motion, that's quite all right. You can do a little half squat. Again, whatever feels like the most appropriate challenge for you. All right. And if you forgot every single thing I said, don't worry. As long as you know we're starting with alternating row, I'll guide you along as we switch throughout the workout. If you're ready and you've got either your dumbbells or your band, we'll get started in 5 seconds. Ready? And begin. Rowing one arm at a time. Trying not to really rotate the torso too much, but keeping it steady. Avoiding that shrug, nice neutral spine angle. Squeezing those muscles in between the shoulder blades at the top. Yeah. Excellent. Awesome, less than 10 seconds to go. Stomach engaged. And relax. Next one is gonna be our step up. If you don't have the step, we'll just repeat those step backs or reverse lunges. It'll work the same muscle group. But if you've got a step or a stool, we're doing one foot and then the other with an optional reach up to the ceiling. And begin. So reach. Other leg, reach if you've got it. Just like so. If the reach is a little tough to balance with, that's okay. We don't need it. We're still working the glutes, the thighs, the core even without that reach overhead. And if you're not keeping the same exact pace as me, that's quite all right. Three, two, one, and relax. All right, so again, for the next one, it's that torso rotation, either standing with a little bit of a quarter squat, belly button pulled in and rotating, or that Russian twist, seated, knees bent, feet on the floor, and rotating. I'm already down here, so I'll keep going. But the key in either variation is to make sure that belly button is pulled in and we're not feeling a strain in the back. If anybody did not do the live class on Tuesday, you decided to do the recorded version, you saw my workout buddy during this isolation period, my stepdaughter Gabby, and relax. She decided she wanted to make a cameo in one of the videos, so she was my assistant for that one. Nice deep breath in between. And we're doing those supinated dumbbell raises. So palms up and up to the ceiling and down. If you're using a band, you're just stepping in the middle of the band, bringing the handles up. I forgot to mention that. I apologize. If you're not using a dumbbell, but you can easily do this one with the band as well. Yeah, you might have already noticed, but if you don't feel a huge difference, basically with the palms up, we're activating the bicep a little bit more. So it's a little extra focus on the long head of the bicep, not quite as much on the front of the deltoid and the shoulder. If you have any bicep injuries, just turn, neutral grip, and lift, relax. Yeah, we're already on the 5th exercise. Time flies when you're having fun, right? By the way, if you need a sip of water, feel free to take one at any point. I'm using a medicine ball. You can use a dumbbell for this one, or just body weight is fine as well. All right, you ready? And begin. Yeah. Good. Stepping out, squat, feet together. Just back and forth. And again, if you don't have a full range of motion, like I'm stopping an inch or so short right now, that's okay. Use whatever range of motion your body has today. Keeping the joints healthy is more important than getting that last inch of depth if you're feeling a little stiff. And relax. All right. 1 round in the books already. We'll start back at the top with that alternating row in just a moment. We're ready and begin. Yeah. Keeping that shoulder away from the ear. If it starts to creep up, bring it back down. Elbows driving straight back as you pull. I feel like I'm using a, what's it called? A bandsaw? No, that's not it. One of those old school saws that has 2 handles and is very flexible. Just trying to cut that trunk. And relax. Forward step up is next. Or that step back into a reverse lunge or half lunge. I'm going to do mine with an overhead reach, but certainly not necessary. And begin. Find that pace that you can keep steady for the full 50 seconds. Three, 2, 1, and relax. All right, torso rotation next. I demonstrated the last one seated, so I'll demonstrate this one standing, just to be fair. Deep breath. And begin. Good. And let the head turn with the shoulders here. Belly button pulled in. You can go a little slower or limit the range of motion if you need to. Less than 10 seconds. Keep that core engaged, protect the lower back. And time. Palms up, dumbbell raise is next. Remember, if you have any bicep injuries, just go from palms up to more of a neutral grip, and that should alleviate any issues. All right, ready? And begin. Yeah, nice. Make sure nice and controlled with that motion. We don't want to swing to get body momentum into it. Core is still stable, and we're just lifting those weights and back down while the rest of our body is a statue. A statue chiseled out of marble, right? Or granite, something impressive. 5 more seconds. And relax. Last one's that lateral step squat. So we're just going side to side. Step the foot out, squat, feet back together, and then to the other side. 3, 2, 1, and begin. Good. Yeah. And you never have to match my pace necessarily. But if it's a good guideline to follow, feel free. More than halfway through. Doing great. Keep that breath going. Squeeze the glutes on the way up. And time. All right. Grab a sip of water. Take a little halftime break for about 60 seconds or so here. I apologize for drinking into the microphone. I know it's terribly obnoxious when they do it on the radio, so. All right. We'll take another breath or so, and then we're gonna start right back at the top with those alternating rows. If you're ready, we'll get going in 5 seconds. And begin. Yeah. And just one more time to show you that angle. Hips back, bent over at about a 45-degree angle or so. Pulling elbows back and toward the ceiling. If we feel it creeping into the neck, it could either mean you're shrugging the shoulders a little bit or you're rounding. So make that posture a little more neutral and drop the shoulders if you feel that at all.
Matt,
Yes, indeed.
my right shoulder, when I do that, it creaks like it's bone on bone. I don't know that I should be doing it with the weights.
If you need to switch it just to body weight, that's perfectly okay. If it feels okay without the dumbbell, just to get the range of motion, that's okay as well. If you need to be a little more upright and just pull without weight back and forth, just for a little motion, that's okay.
Okay, thanks.
Step ups next. Ready and begin. And again, you don't need this reach, but I can't challenge you with it and then take the easier option. I'm the trainer. I have to do double, right? Just to make it fair. Keep that pace going. And time. Little torso rotation next. Standing or seated, either one. I'm going to go seated on this round. Knees bent, feet on the floor. And rotate. Nice and controlled. Keeping that pace up, focusing on using those ab and oblique muscles on the sides. Belly button staying in even as we're starting to fatigue. And relax. Coming up for our shoulder raises next. Palms up. Take a couple deep breaths. And begin. Yum. Up and down. Yeah. No higher than shoulder height. Trying to keep the shoulders back, shoulder blades together and down as we raise the hands up. You want to feel it in those posture muscles in the mid to upper back, almost as much as you're feeling the arms work. And relax. That lateral squat step is next. Anytime we're taking a break, it's a chance to get some good deep breaths in. Ready and begin. Yep. The more oxygen we get the muscles, the more work they can do. I told that to Gabby and she said, "You mean like cool erasers?" I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Well, my teacher gives me cool erasers if we do a good job sometimes, and that always makes me do more work." I said, sure, if that works for you, then the oxygen is the cool erasers. And relax. Taking a quick sip. All right, again, even if the resistance is bothering you a little bit on this one, we can still use it as a range of motion exercise. Nice neutral spine. We're on the last round, by the way, the farewell tour. Squeezing that muscle in between the shoulder blades on either side as you pull, alternating one arm and then the other. 10 seconds. And relax, that's one down. Moving to our step ups next. Or that step back lunge if we don't have a stool or a step. All right, one more breath. And begin. I get lonely on this one because half of the people walk away to their bottom step. But I know you're there working too. Keeping up that pace, more than halfway through. And time. We'll do our torso rotation next. All right, I'll sit down for this one again, but absolutely no shame if you're doing this one standing. We're working those core muscles either way. Ready? And twist. Not the mashed potato, just the twist here. I shouldn't even say the word mashed potatoes this close to dinner time. We can't be thinking about food, we're still exercising. Keep that core control, belly button in, protecting the lower back. And relax. All right, onto those dumbbell raises, or if you're using a band, the shoulder raises. Ready? And begin. Yeah. Avoid using momentum. Keep nice posture. We don't want to round and reach forward as we lift. We want to keep nice posture, shoulders back, everything controlled. Doing great. 15 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Last exercise, believe it or not, that lateral step squat. 50 more seconds of work, and then we'll be all done with our circuit for the day. Ready? And begin. Especially now at the end, keep that breath going. Keep that pace up. Nice posture, 15 more seconds. And time. Awesome job. Grab some water, catch your breath. We'll take another 60 seconds or so here. And then we've got a little finisher exercise. I'll be using a cone, but you can use any object that you can step over. You can use, oh, let's see, a dumbbell, a medicine ball if it doesn't roll on you, maybe a sleeping cat as long as you have good balance. All right. So for our finishing exercise, we'll do 3 rounds, 20 seconds of 2 different cone step over variations. So the first variation, and if you can't see the cone, that's okay. It's not too tall. It's only about a foot in height. This is the side step over. If you need a little bit more effort, you can turn it into a side hop. Either way, perfectly fine. But the goal of either variation is to make it as quick as you can while still staying stable and balanced. If you need a chair next to you on this one to hold on to in case you lose your balance, that's okay as well. Now the second exercise is a cone step over, but just forward and back. So if I lead with my right leg on that first step over and back, I'm going to lead with my left leg on the second one. A little bit of a brain teaser at the same time. Like the side step over, you can make it a little hop if you need more effort. So we're going to do 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest in between. I'll give you another 10 seconds, and then we'll get started. All right, we're starting with those side step overs or hops. And begin. So either quick, lifting the knees up as high as you can each step, or if you're hopping, whichever variation is the best, most appropriate challenge for you. All right, 10 seconds to rest. We're facing the cone to start now. We're going forward and back. Ready? And begin. Nice high knees. Kick that heel up on the way back. Other leg. If you're hopping, same thing. Either variation. Quick steps, high knees. And relax. That's 1 round down already. 2 more to go. Side to side again. And begin. Yeah. I'm stepping for the sanity of my neighbor below me. But you can feel free to hop. And relax. Facing the cone, forward and back now, alternating which foot leads. And begin. Now notice I'm not staring down at the cone the whole time. If you need to spot down and look, that's okay. But try not to have the head hanging down, looking at the cone the whole time. And relax. One more of each variation. You got it. Side to side. And begin. We are definitely getting those hips working on this finisher. Pace yourself if needed. And relax. Finishing off forward and back on the last one. One deep breath. And begin. Nice high knee lift. Picking those feet up. And time. Excellent job. All right. So we are almost at the end of class. Today we're going to finish off, instead of some stretching, which you can still do on your own if you'd like, we're going to do 2 minutes of a little breathing exercise. I'm going to do it leaning up against the glass sliding door here with my knees bent. You can do it lying down as well, just lying on your back, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. If you're not lying down, make sure to lean up against the wall with a little knee bend. And I'll show you what we're going to do in just a second. All right. So I've got a timer. I'll set it for 2 minutes. And we're just going to do deep belly breaths. So hands on the belly. As you inhale, you're going to breathe in through the nose. Let the belly expand. Exhale through the mouth. Like you're almost blowing into a balloon. Nice, slow, deep diaphragmatic breaths for 2 minutes. Begin. If you feel a little lightheaded at any point, if you need to stop, that's okay. If you're lying down, you're already safe, but it's just from a little hyperoxygenation, or as the person who taught me this exercise phrased it, just getting high on your own supply. Just a little extra oxygen into the brain and body. Yeah, we don't want those shoulders moving too much. More of that belly breath. Close the eyes if you'd like. We're lowering the heart rate. Lowering the blood pressure. Switching into more of a parasympathetic nervous state. More calm. All right. That's a full 2 minutes. Excellent job, everybody.